In this video, we're going to look at some of the basics of using Google Docs and working with some of the formatting and sharing on here. First of all, when you've got a brand new document, you're going to need to give it a title. And the easiest way to retitle it is to click where the title is and give it an example title. Let's call mine example doc. Hit enter, and you can see it's saving it. And then it tells you that all changes were saved. Changes are saved automatically as you go. You don't need to hit save all the time. If you want to change the location of this, you're going to need to click on the folder to organize it. And it tells you that right now it's in an example folder. But I can use this blue button to move the item to any folder I want to on my Google Drive. And I really do want it in the example folder. That's why I planned on having it. So it's already there, so I'm all set. Across the top, I have menus that work just like Microsoft Word and several icons. And if you don't see all these same icons, there's going to be a More button that gives you drop down to see more of them. So let's start off by giving this a title. And if I want this to actually look like a title, I can change it from normal text to the title style. And it changes the title style. You can always tell what style it is by looking up here. Right now, it's in normal text. If I wanted to put a subtitle, I could do that and change it to subtitle or heading 1 or heading 2 and so on. It can make things like that. Now you can also put in, and this is especially useful for longer documents, you can insert a table of contents at the very beginning. And then it automatically takes whatever you have for heading 1 and puts it in there, heading 2. So every time you have a new heading, it creates this table of contents. And so if I want to change heading 1 to Great Introduction, and heading 2 to eye-catching, I can just come back up here and hit this refresh button, and it updates that automatically. It also updates the page numbers automatically for you. So if I can also show what the page numbers are by inserting page numbers. And you can do the top corner or skip the first page, bottom corner or skip the first page. And I'll just put it in the bottom corner of every page. So now I've got page numbers on here. I've got different styles going on. There's also other things you can do. If you want to change the margins, it's under File, Page Setup. And here you can adjust the margins. I wouldn't make margins any smaller than 0.5. They have problems printing and copying if the margins are too much smaller. You can see it shifted everything over and up to account for a smaller margin. So if I wanted to come down here and put in a bulleted list, this is my icon for bulleted list. And so I could do first, second, third, fourth, and so on. By highlighting, you can make them bold, or italics, or underlined, or you could change the color of the text, and you can even change the highlight or the background of it to make it look like this. You can also keep it left aligned, you could center it, or you can right align, and those buttons are all right here. You can do very similar things with numbered lists, and let me put the text back to normal and no highlighting. Numbered list is right here, and this does an outline number. So if I do first and enter and I hit tab, and that gives me my sub first. And then shift tab will take me back to the previous one to the left. And so on. And you can do very similar things with these. If you want to change the size, here's the size. Right now it's Arial font size 11. I can make it 18. And this doesn't have quite as many font choices as Microsoft Word would have, but it's got plenty. So I can make it Impact. And this I could make maybe 14 and, I don't know, Comic Sans. So you can change all of those, including colors. If you want to change the colors again, that's right here. I can make the text blue, for example. You can also insert comments, and this is especially good when you're working with student papers. So click wherever you want to put your comment, and you can either insert a comment, or you can click the comment button here, or you can come out to the side and this will add a comment button here. And then as people read through the papers, they'll see, oh, something's highlighted for a comment. Now, tables are also a very useful thing to put in. And usually think of insert tables, but that's not where it's going to be. It's going to be under the table menu. And you can insert a table of whatever size you want. And then you can put text in tables, you can put pictures in tables. So if I wanted to insert an image, I can search, I can find anything on my Google Drive, or I can search for an image, and this finds labeled for commercial reuse with modifications, so you don't have to worry about the copyright issues. So if I wanted a picture of a tree, I can find full types, I can find clip art of trees, and let's say I want trees that are blue. I don't know why, but I do. Oh, look, this is a great one. I'll select that. Now it even gives me the reference here, so I can make that reference if I need to. And there's my tree in my table. I can also insert special characters. Special characters are things from other languages or symbols. So if I have arrows that need to be inserted, there's a whole choice of arrows on here to look through, including arrows with things over and above them, science people, math people especially. Under symbol, there's also Braille, currency, emoticons, all sorts of other things, including a bunch of math symbols that would be very useful for mathy things. You've got technical, weather, all those types of things. But you've also got various punctuations, including the section sign, the paragraph sign, or the Pilcrow. For Spanish, the upside down question mark. You've got various types of numbers, including in different languages. And you can look at decimal or other types. But what really is helpful is for the accented letters. You've got your Latin, so language Latin. And it gets you all of your accented and combination letters, things like that. Other European scripts let you look at some other things like Greek letters. And you can also do, let's actually get some South Asian or East Asian ones if you need some of those. So I'm just going to put that in there. There's also an equation editor. And math and science people, this is going to be up your alley. You can make an equation, insert equation, and here it gives you another little drop-down box here of all these things. And if you look really closely, there's a light blue box where the cursor is. That means you're working on the equation. So if I wanted to put in ax squared, to do squared, I need to come up to the math operations, pick the exponent, and then use the right arrow to go over 1, type the 2, and then go over 1 again, plus bx plus c equals 0, for example. And if I click outside of that, you can see the whole equation right there. The equation editor has all of these things built into it that do get a little technical, a little difficult to work with, but if there are things that you need in a math equation, it's well worth your time to use the equation editor. You can also insert hyperlinks, and the link for the hyperlink is here, little chain links, or insert link, either one works. And you can put in the text that you want to say, so Blue Ridge High, and then I can put in an address, and it automatically makes the link. And I know that wasn't the right address for Blue Ridge High, but I was just getting through fast. So there's lots of things in that you can work with. You can also adjust spacing. If the spacing is too close, you can also go to the format, line spacing. You can make it single, which brings it closer together. You can go double, which puts an extra line in between each. Or you can add spaces before and after paragraphs or items. You can also put columns in, and this is brand new. They did not have columns until about a couple weeks ago. So this is a brand new thing, being able to put columns in. You can do your lists, your numbered lists, your bulleted lists, and it gives you lots of options of shapes and things. You can also do paragraph styles, where you can change the title, subtitle, all of those. You can do your fonts here. You can do strike-throughs, bold, italic, underline, all of that here. When you're working with the image, under the format, you have some image options. The table, you can insert rows and columns, delete rows and columns. Other tools include a spell checker, the explore function, which lets you search for things that it automatically looks for things that you've got in here and finds things that might be related. So there might be templates, there might be images. I don't know why it has an image of an eye on here. Oh, because eye catching, there we go. So it looks at what's already in the document to find things that might be helpful. Or you can search up here, and you can search for whatever you want to in this, and it will find pictures or things that you want. The Explore replaces the research function there used to be. Also under tools, you have the voice typing. So if I use the voice typing, I can just click, let's see, start where I want to go here, click this to speak, and as I'm talking, it should be transcribing exactly what I'm saying. Now, obviously there's some problems, I didn't quite get all of that, but if you work with it, it gets easier. And sometimes that's easier for students who have some writing or written language difficulties. If you want to share this, again, the share button is the easiest one to use. You can go to advanced and you can change it. So right now, only you or other people whose names you type here can see it. You can change the private, so anyone with a link can view it, or anyone at Greenville County with a link can view it. You've got the can view here. And one of the great things about this is if I put in somebody's address, I can actually give them rights for a certain amount of time. Except that's not available on this one. That's available back in Drive. So once this is done, you've got that. And then you're going to hit enter to get out of this. And that's all there is for Google Docs.